Hello and welcome to Channel 2S. I'm your host Second Soundwave, and today we're going to be looking at the high-grade Gundam the Origin Char's Zaku I. So as you would expect with an Origin kit, the surface detail on this model is absolutely fantastic. The design of this mobile suit itself is very simplistic, which can be seen as either boring or charming, depending on how you feel about these kind of designs. Now if you want to spice the kit up a bit, you do get this sheet of marking seals, and I suppose they're okay. Just got all the little basic usual stuff, the numbers and faction symbols. It doesn't have that white striping that you see on a lot of the other Xeon kits from Gundam the Origin, but that's really not a loss to me as I never really cared much for them. Now articulation on the Zaku I is exactly the same as that on the high-grade Gundam the Origin Zaku II, so instead of running through every joint individually, I'm just going to kind of put him in this weird funky pose that uses all of his joints so you can see for yourself just how flexible this kit is. Basically, it's got every joint you could ever possibly want. The primary weapon of the Zaku I is the ever-classic Zaku machine gun. It's got a moving scope that goes from here to here, and a posable handle that can be moved to either side of the gun. And you also get a right side trigger hand for holding it, and because it's the same hand that came with the Zaku II, it does have that same bend at the wrist peg. You also get a spare magazine for the machine gun that can be pegged onto the back skirt here, or also onto the side skirt. However, the peg that's attaching is very thin, so it's really easy to knock it off. For the other arm, you get a very basic, very simple gray shield. Now this is attached to the arm by 2 points. There is a clip here that is on a sliding track so it can move up and down, and you also have a handle right here that's attaching it to his hand. And if you've seen my Bugu review, you've already seen this shield because it is the exact same one that is included with that model. Finally, you get two versions of the Heat Hawk. One activated and one deactivated. The deactivated axe has a peg for storage, and I've already shown you these twice before, so I'm not going to spend any more time on them. And that's really it. There's not much else I can show you that you haven't already seen. The Buku may have used a couple runners from the Zaku II and also shared its general body structure, but the Zaku I is an almost carbon copy of it. Even some of the areas that are technically new molds, like the leg armor, have the exact same surface details on them, and really all they did was remove the holes for the hoses to connect to. But what really bugs me about this model is the price. Char's Zaku I is 1,700 yen, but so is Char's Zaku II. For that matter, the Denim Slender Custom Zaku I is also 1,700 yen, and that's literally just this kit with all of this guy's extras. There's really no reason to get Char's Zaku I unless you absolutely must have a Zaku I that is specifically in Char's colors. There's really nothing exclusive to find here. It's the same body as the Denim Slender Zaku, and it shares a shield with the Bugu. The machine gun isn't really that special either, since it'll be included with the Zaku II C5 when that comes out in a few months. Oh, and coincidentally, the C5 will also have the belt-fed machine gun from Char's Zaku I S, which makes that kit just as pointless as this one. Now, if this was closer to, say, 1,500 yen, I'd be able to recommend it as a cheap sampler of the greatness of the Origin line. But as it is, there are other options at the exact same price point that are just plain better. You know, in a way, Char's Zaku I is kind of like the Gundam local type. It's certainly not a bad kit at all. In fact, it's really quite well designed. It's just not visually interesting enough to stand out from its line mates, and it's too expensive for what you get. In the end, I'm giving Char's Zaku I a horizontal thumb, as it's not bad enough to deserve a thumbs down, but not really deserving of a thumbs up either. And that's all I have to say about Char's Zaku I. Leave a like if you want, subscribe if you're new for more Gundam and Gunpla content, and feel free to share this video around as well. And as always, I'm your host Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.